What are we in here? 13 miles. GoPro works better with a battery. Didn't put one in. Like, what's wrong with this thing? So 13 miles into a PA brevet, 200K, they call it the Neo Classic. And it's 10,000 feet of climbing. It's 10,000 feet of climbing for 126 miles. And none of it's really tall hills or anything like that. You can see it's just all short hills. Everything's under 1,000 feet, I think, of climbing, but it's lots of it, lots of little ones. So I think the first few climbs here were pretty steep and pretty hard. Might be the hardest of the day. So just as well I didn't have the camera. I think the first control is at like 30 miles, so I'm almost halfway to the first control. And it's not quite sunrise yet. Not quite sunrise yet. Trying to see what the status of the leaves are here. I think it's yellows and browns. Maybe the sun, when it pops up, will light this up a little bit better. The town of Durham. Quaint little place. Back into the small chain ring, because I think that's where I'm going to live this whole ride is in the little chain ring. Good morning.
Slide left onto Coon Hollow Road from unpaved sections.
Coon Hollow reminds me of where the red fern grows or something. Book about those dogs chasing coons. Who are they? Little Ann and Old Dan, if I remember. Not a lot of long views on this ride so far. It's kind of how I feel about a lot of Pennsylvania roads. I mean, at least the ones chosen for these brevets, you can see like 100 feet in front of you, and then there's a turn, or a big hill, or something. I think when I did that 300, was it last year? I had this feeling of like being lost or something at night. It's this kind of like, I don't want to say claustrophobic feeling, but you have this feeling like you're up, you're down, you're right, you're left. I'm trying this eBrevet app for the first time. It's a phone app that the RBA has developed. The way it works is you need a cell phone data service only like one time, really, at the beginning of the ride, just to get the route information. Actually just the control information is in here. And when you reach each control, well, first of all, when you get to the start and you get your card, your brevet card, you still need one. It has a special code, and you put the code in. That's your code for that ride. When you do, that checks you in at the start time for a mass start brevet, which this is. And then you can pretty much turn your phone off if you wanted to. You don't need to leave it on. It's not going to track your every move. But when you get to the next control and you're close, I don't know, so many feet away from the control, and you turn your phone on, your GPS knows that you're close, and it records that you were there. And it tries to send the information back to the service for the eBrevet app, but it doesn't have to. If you're out in the sticks and there's no cell service, it just stores that in a little database or file or something on the phone. And next time you get close to cell service, you got a data signal, it sends that information. And then the RBA can kind of track, well, it says you got to that spot. But you really don't need the cell service at any time other than the beginning and presumably at the end, so that you can, you know, submit it all. But it's different than like a tracker that you can watch the people go around the course. All you can do is see, did someone post results back to the service saying that they got to that control. Kind of a neat idea. I'm trying it out. Still on Coon Hollow. What a bumpy road. The days are getting a lot shorter. I guess there's a climb in Wind Gap. There's concern about climbing that at night. So the RBA gave an option. You can start early at 6 o'clock instead of 7, which I did. I need to be done by 7:30, really, to get done at within 13 and a half hours. A little after 7:30, and depending on what hollow you're in, it's either sunrise or not. Right now the sun's up. We're in Bucks County. That's Buck Wampum Road. That's the one I had to walk, or rather one of the ones I had to walk on the covered bridges earlier in the year. Whew. Bucks County's hilly. Got something rattling up here. I think it's this thing. It's like wiggles a little bit. It came loose during PBP. I might try to tighten that up at the control, or not. It's annoying, but it's no big deal. Kind of picking my way amongst the rock-strewn hills here. Getting close to the southern part of the ride. We started in College Hill, which I guess is a part of Easton, PA, and we're heading south to, I think we're going to a Wawa as our first stop. We start heading north up along the Delaware, crossing to New Jersey, go 30-40 miles north and turn around and come back to the College Hill. This shirt feels fine now. Depends where you are in these hills. The sun's hitting you directly and you're working up a hill. It's too hot. If you're descending, it's through a misty valley, you're glad to have it. A little more red in here. I think there's a bunch of brown and yellow and orange, some bright red. I realized my GPS is still set to metric. When I said I was 13 miles in, I wasn't. Probably hard to film one-handed on these turns.
In 3/4 mile, take notice.
Sacrificing some speed to do it. There we go. I think we go through this Suburban Development here. Look at that lip. Yikes. Watch out. I think we're at the top of something, but I don't think this was a big climb or anything. Yeah, I think we just go straight through this development. Come out on a main road the other side. This makes me think of that show Weeds. Little boxes on the hillside. Yep. Coming out on the main road. Secretly, this is what I want to do. I want to live in a box. Maybe a little more modest than these. Where I don't have to worry about upkeep and maintenance. You pay someone to do it. And you go ride your bike. You don't spend much time in it at all. Thanks for having me. Right. We're at the Wawa Control 2. Let's play brevet app. Is this visible? I don't even know. Well, right here, the eBrevet app is open, and let's see if I can get the brightness up a little bit. Does it work? Can't tell. Anyway, I'm going to click on the Neo Classic ride that I'm riding. It says that I'm riding it now because I already started it. And I'm here. Does this thing know I'm here? Check in. It's registered that I'm here. Is that visible? Can't tell. So it says check into control. Check in now. Check in recorded. Continue. And now I get a green check mark. I guess that's the big thing to notice. If this is visible at all. The green check mark says that it went to the RBA. He's got it now. It's went to the server. But that's it. And then I can turn this off, turn off my phone, and do the same for each subsequent control. Little shortcut through the development on Barnhill. I'm pretty sure this also is a route. Maybe this is part of the covered bridges and I did it in reverse. I'm not sure. One of the things to watch for is cars. There's no shoulders on many of these roads. So if you're going down through a holler, twisted and turning, and someone comes around and scares the heck out of you sometimes. Had a couple of people going a little too fast, I think. Looking good. I haven't seen any horses or anything yet. Expect I should if there's Mennonite churches in the area. Maybe tomorrow will be a great day to see them. Maybe it's a little too early. I don't know why that's fun, but it is. This I remember from the 300. Was it last year? Make a left here, I think. Nope. A little further, I guess. Boy, I remember that church though. Pretty sure. I guess I didn't study this route very well. We're going down Hollowhorn, which is definitely a covered bridges road. Or at least that's where I've encountered it, and I love this road. It goes down to a covered bridge, the Frankenfield Bridge. I'm doing it in the fall. I did it in the spring. It's kind of neat to revisit. It's like that whole deal about going over the same roads over and over. It's kind of, it's never the same road, right? This feels different. Yahoo! There you go. Why do covered bridges seem nicer in the fall than in the spring? It just feels like a fall structure to me. I don't know why. I'm not sure if they're doing the brevet or not, or just the outright. I saw Patrick Gaffney at the control. Assume he started at 7 and caught up to me with an hour head start. Hello. Someone else passed me. I don't know who they were, but it flew by me. I think this is the covered bridge I took the little extra detour to come to on the covered bridges ride. So I guess we're gonna go back behind the park. I guess that's west of the park. The park's kind of to our right over here somewhere. So there's no bread pudding, I guess, in a pavilion. Womp womp womp. Instead we get to go back here, which I've never done. Landmines, these walnuts. You want to go into a turn with a bunch of those on the ground. This Titicum Church Road is really nice. Following some streams. No traffic. Very scenic. Although very close views. No, there's a little red. A little bit. Not going to see a big sweeping vista from down in these little roads. We do get a view of some sort. Red Cliff Road was a pretty hairy start to it. Very pretty. Another one of those roads down in a holler. Can't see a whole lot other than what's right in front of you, but it's nice. I saw Brad Lehman, one of the organizers for many of the rides. He was going the other way, just seeing who was out here. He's not doing the brevet. Those guys that went by me were not doing the brevet either. They're doing something else. Just lollygagging. They took a left when I went right, so still a pretty day. Well, I got turned out on 32 by the Delaware, just north of that park where we would have the bread pudding. I keep thinking about the bread pudding. That'd be good. Where's the bread pudding stop? I think we're gonna go up here and cross the Delaware and go into Jersey for a little while. Guess this is one of those walk your bike bridges. Alright, I'm walking. That's not on the eBrevet app. Prove you walked your bike. But here's my proof. Right there. Alright, we're gonna get a view. Guess this is it. Sort of muted tones, huh? Well, that must be freshly painted. So right after the bridge was the Milford Market. I checked in again. Looks like we're gonna get some bagels over here. I might forego it. Skip it. I've got food on board. Take a left here. So one of the other riders noticed that he had to be not in airplane mode to use the eBrevet app and check in. I think that makes sense. I imagine airplane turns off your Wi-Fi, which isn't important for the eBrevet app, and your cell connection, including data, which also isn't important to record that you were there, but it also turns off GPS probably, which I think it does need to know. But I mean, if you're looking to figure out what's the minimum phone situation you could be running, I imagine turn off cell data, turn off Wi-Fi, and just, you know, you turn your whole phone off. But as long as you turn it back on and have GPS, you're probably okay. Or simpler, turn it on, take it out of airplane mode, make your check mark, see if it goes green. Hopefully it does with the cell data. And if it doesn't, okay, well, you know, you gotta send that data later. It'll automatically do it next time you get a cell phone signal. Then put it back in airplane mode or turn it off and stick it back in your pocket. So you could really, it doesn't really drain your battery. Oh, I didn't shift my gears. I'm talking. This is hard. Oh, look at that. Now that hill is a little better. That's a little more impressive as I grind this out in top gear. That's nice. Nice fall weather we're having here. I skipped going into the bagel shop in Milford, or the bake shop there. I've got cookies and I got drinks in the bag. I might as well use them. Keep the momentum up. Every once in a while you get a little shower of leaves that you ride through. That's kind of fun. Motorcyclists are out. Ride it while you can, boys. Snow will be coming soon. over here. A little more than halfway done here, I think. About to turn on Mountain View from Butler. I can feel it in the legs. There's a lot of climbing. Right. Coming up over Mountain View here. Oh, there you go. It's pretty nice. Now down the other side. We're going up to Fiddlers Elbow here, which I guess is a very, very steep hill. Not looking forward to it too much. That last climb was pretty tough too. Oh boy, we're past the halfway point though, so that's good. I'm guessing we're going over there. These long climbs will make you feel like you're dead. Yikes. Long and steep. Those are some nice colors. Pretty vivid. Oops. I missed the turn for Fiddler's Elbow. Had to come back up a hill to get it. It's nice to have a descent that you miss, have to climb to get back to the descent. But I'm on it now. Right, I think this is Belvedere. We're crossing over the Delaware again, back into Pennsylvania. Look at that, that's a nice view. He's got the right idea. So that Fiddler's Elbow descent, we were on top of one of the big ridges and you could see another big ridge off in the distance, but you couldn't see it but for a split second between the trees. It was like, it's an epic view that I can't see except for 1 second. You're really flying down that thing. I didn't. I took it pretty slow, but you could go a million miles an hour. I'm unfamiliar with the road, so I take it kind of pokey. And there's leaves all over the place. I don't know if there's a big pothole in the middle of the road, so I was pretty cautious. Catching anything? Hi. It's a pretty view. Ridiculous climb to get here, but there it is. There we got 40 miles left. Riding with Greg here. Not exactly energetic. I'm not, anyway. And gonna get this done. We're just coasting when we can coast and making the best time we can when we're going out. Nothing else you can do. All right, that's Blue Mountain. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as the last couple climbs, so can't be worse than that mountain view. Good grief. Just gonna take my time and enjoy it. get the heck out of your way. Take one quick shot and I'm out.
Okay.
Actually, this is Fox Gap, I guess. We're not at Wind Gap yet. We're crossing over this gap on the Blue Mountain, and then we're going to go along it, and then we're going to come back over it again, just for fun in Wind Gap. Slow slog. All right, almost at the top here.
Turn right onto PA 191.
That's it, right up there. A big descent. Well earned. Going over
Extended, steep,
the Blue Mountain.
descent with car traffic. Do not
That's
ride
the
faster
AT.
than your guardian angel. Seriously, be careful going down this.
Seriously. That's got to be the best view of the day. I'm going along Cherry Valley here. At the risk of taking pictures of cathedrals, once you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all. The light's looking a little nicer here. Look at that sumac popping in the front. Nice job, boys. Quite the sight. I missed the name of it. Some sort of a sports kids camp kind of thing. It's a good place to learn how to, I guess, play basketball right under, in the shadow of Blue Mountain. I'm using all the gears. Like down a hill, top gear. Up a hill, the lowest gear. You really gotta, after so many thousands of feet of climbing, you just like, forget it. Alright, that is Wind Gap. That's where we're going over. Better than up there. Alright, at the summit of Wind Gap. Not a very hard climb compared to all the other ones we did today. I think the Appalachian Trail, a lot of it's right up here. Second Appalachian crossing of the day. Yeah, you can see that sign there. Appalachian Trail. That sign. Another thing that happened. We had two crossings of the Appalachian Trail, and a chipmunk crossed my path. And it doesn't look like the chipmunk made it. He just like darted out from the woods down that Cherry Valley road. He ran out, running into my tire, crunch. And I looked back and he was running in circles. I looked back again and he was not. He was stopped. That's the first time that's happened. Patrol's right up here. It's the Turkey Hill. One more eBrevet check-in before we're done. Alright, so it's 111 or so at their last control, so about 15 more miles. There's a lot of downhill right now, so that's a treat. Bye-bye, Wind Gap. think I'll walk. That'd be a dumb way to not finish brevet. There we go. Whoa. That road got washed out. Mud Run, is it called? Closed, and that's why. Just about time to put on the reflectives. I got the lights on. When I get down to the bottom here on Front Street where there's cars, I'll do that. But it's getting dark. I've got my duds on. Gonna finish up a little after sunset here. I'm glad I'm gonna finish. Kind of a hard ride. The Delaware River, just finishing up, a couple more miles. We'll be in Easton. See? Okay, I'm done. So I finished, and I did the check-in at every control, including the last control. When you're done, you get something like this. Gives you a code. You put it on your brevet card, sign it, and that's proof of passage. He's got all the data he needs to show that we were at the controls. So that's it. 1,000 or 10,000 feet of climbing. Let's see, what time is it? It's 6:16. So I actually did this in 12 and 15 minutes. I'm talking. So under 13 and a half, so that's good. So pretty hard ride, but pretty exciting. I didn't think I'd be able to do a ride like that. So hooray. All right, so if you didn't have cell service the whole time, I guess you could click upload the data, upload the results. And I learned too that when you get to the control, this little GPS update, you don't have to wait for the thing. Otherwise you have to kind of wait for, why does that look like that? You have to wait for the GPS to update your location. You sit there for a minute going, is this working? But if you click that quick, boop, you can check in any of the controls. And then upload at the end if you hadn't had any cell service. That would be the time.
Sugino, which is a competitor for Shimano, and it's like with
right.
It has like ceramic there, and it's all closed. And it worked perfect.
Match light charcoal.
And I even
probably not very much lightable anymore.
Thank you very much.
No, this is not for you. This is
Okay,
mine.
I'm okay.
You can't have this one.
Eat it.
This is a fake burger anyway.
It doesn't matter. Are you vegetarian?
No.
So why are you?
That was nice. Little burger, and talk to some of the guys who finished. Didn't do too bad. Here comes someone else. Hey! You're done.